If you're scared to close your browser tabs, that is not a browser problem. That means the business doesn't have a trusted place for useful things yet. Keep it practical, not dramatic. So the pain is familiar. There's tools to use, there's browsers to use, there's workflows that you got to get into. So those turns are not storage, they are open loops. So let me show you what is actually happening. So this is what is happening. 47 tabs are open. This is a problem. The real cause is useful things have no home. So what happens when you leave it? Open loops and daily guilt. So the cost is slower browser, slower owner. The fix is an AI business HQ. So the tab pile, when browsers remembers you can't close it, there's 47 tabs is not a plan. The browser is not the business plan. So your business memory, your computer starts to slow down. So what happens is you have an open tab, AI tool to test. There's also an open tab, the sales page you got to study. There's a workflow video to build later, and then prompt thread to reuse. So none of this really is urgent, but closing it feels dangerous. Tabs feel safer than decisions. So the open loops, why they stare back at you. There's unfinished, they're always unfinished. Save for later is always gonna be something later. Not tabs, open loops wear favicons. So the real cause is homeless. Information stays open, useful things, no home that stays open. So there's no link library, there's no prompt vault, no active build sequence. Clutter is usually homeless information. So the cost, laptop gets slower, browser gets uglier, dead stuff stares back, work starts to guilt out, less useful work for you and your business. So you want to give everything a home. What gets to stay? You got your link, prompts, tools, build, browsers can close all that. Keepers move here into an AI business HQ. You got links, prompts, tools, builds. So you close the browser without losing the plot. So I left a link in the description below, going to be the starter kit. So I basically built a Discord channel. Why? Because I got so crazy with all these open loops and all of these browsers open, and there's links, and I couldn't figure out where everything was at. So if you haven't used the PARA system, it's the projects, areas, resources, and archives. I didn't really invent it. I just started using it in my business a few years ago, and I moved it into AI and had AI and the PARA system kind of work together. So I have a command center to where I have CEO HQ alerts, and then you have projects. These are things that they have time constraints. So if it's something that you're just getting started with, if you're starting a new sales page, you put that into a project. Once the sales page is built and done, then you can archive that project into the archives. And then you have areas. Areas are going to be sales, operations, customers, and finance. You can add things to the areas, but areas are going to be things that don't have a time limit on them. Areas could be sales, you're always trying to get new sales, or it could be leads, you're always trying to get new leads. It could be meta ads, and you're always working on new meta ads. This would be the areas section. And what you do is you work with an agent inside of here. So you have your agent working inside of here. So you're talking to your agent throughout the projects, you're talking to your agent throughout the areas in these different channels. I see a lot of people, they want to create like 40 different agents. They want to have 50 different agents. I don't think having 50 different agents is the right answer. In fact, I tried it and I went crazy trying to do it. So I have one agent, but then I have different channels inside of my different areas. And then the resources section is where you keep the prompts, you keep links, you keep documents. Everything is going to be in the resource area. You're not chatting with your agent here. You're just keeping stuff here. I use my resources for skills. So anytime I create new skills, I drop them into that skills channel in the resource section. So most of my day through working my business each day is going to be talking to my CEO, which is my agent, and then also working in new projects that I have each day, and then different areas that I'm going to be working on that I have for my business. And so I left a starter kit in the link description below. Click on that. You'll be able to set this up for yourself.